Imagine the sky lights up, not lightning. A figure, enormous, glowing, hanging over the city. And then a voice. Not from a speaker, from inside your own head, speaking your language, telling you it is God. In your language, telling you what I want heard. Millions of people in every country seeing their own savior in the clouds at the exact same moment. Would you believe it? Be honest. If the whole world saw it with you, would you be able not to? They call it Project Bluebeam, because one man said this wasn't science fiction. He said it was the plan, and he wrote down every step. To understand the theory, you have to understand the man. His name was Serge Monast, a Canadian journalist and conspiracy theorist from Quebec. And in 1994, he published a document that would haunt the internet for the next 30 years. Its name, Project Bluebeam. Monast's claim was enormous. He said that NASA, working hand in hand with the United Nations, had a secret plan to end religion as we know it and replace every faith on earth with a single, controlled, one-world religion. A New Age church with a false messiah at its head, and behind it, a new world order, one government watching everyone. But here's what made Bluebeam different from every other doomsday theory. Monast didn't say the apocalypse would be real. He said it would be faked, manufactured. A special effects second coming, so convincing that the entire human race would fall to its knees and beg to be ruled. Not by force, but by wonder. You don't conquer a planet that's terrified. You conquer a planet that's amazed. And according to Monast, the plan came in 4 steps. Step 1. Break humanity's faith in its own history. Monast claimed the plan would begin with engineered earthquakes, set off at precise, sacred locations around the world. And in the rubble, teams would discover fabricated artifacts, fake evidence, planted to prove that every major religion, Christianity, Islam, all of them, had gotten the story wrong. Shatter what people believe first. Leave a hole. Because a frightened, disillusioned world is a world ready to be told what to believe next. Step 2, and this is the one people never forget. Monast called it the Great Space Show, a coordinated global event where 3-dimensional holograms would be projected into the sky all over the planet at once. And here's the genius and the horror of it. Each region would see their own god, every culture, their own divine figure, speaking their own language, appearing in their own sky. And then, slowly, all of those images would begin to merge, melting together into a single being. One God for a one-world religion. The false Messiah, broadcast in high definition to all 7 billion of us. Step 3 took it off the screen and put it inside you. Monast described what he called telepathic, two-way electronic communication. Beams of low-frequency energy that could carry a voice directly into a person's skull. No headphones, no sound in the room. Just a voice that only you can hear, that seems to come from everywhere and nowhere. Now imagine that voice arrives at the exact moment the figure appears in the sky, and it speaks to you, personally, by name, in your language, claiming to be the divine. For a lot of people, that combination wouldn't feel like a trick, it would feel like proof. And step 4 is where it all comes down. The universal manifestation. Monast claimed the finale would flood the world with staged supernatural events, delivered by satellite and electronics. A faked alien invasion, hovering over every major city to terrify nations into surrendering their weapons. For the faithful, a simulated rapture. People made to believe they were being taken up. Wave after wave of manufactured miracles and manufactured terror, until a species in total panic does the one thing panicked people always do. It looks for someone to save it, and the New World Order steps forward and offers to be that savior. That's the theory, a 4-act play, with humanity as the audience that never knows it's watching a show. Now, it would be easy to laugh this off, and the full version, NASA, the UN, a hologram antichrist, has no evidence behind it, none. But here's why Project Bluebeam refuses to die 30 years later. Because the individual pieces stopped sounding impossible. Look up on the right now and you'll see 1,000 drones forming a glowing figure in the sky. Synchronized, silent, deliberate. Stadiums resurrect dead musicians as holograms. And that voice in your skull, there's a real, documented phenomenon called the microwave auditory effect. The ability to make a person hear sound beamed at them by radio frequency, with nothing in their ears. Militaries have studied it for decades, and the biggest piece, the human one, was proven almost 90 years ago. In 1938, a radio drama of War of the Worlds was broadcast as fake news bulletins, and some listeners, who tuned in late, genuinely believed Martians were landing in New Jersey. No holograms, no mind control, just a convincing broadcast and a frightened audience. That's the uncomfortable core of Bluebeam. The technology was never really the question. The question was always whether people would believe a spectacle in the sky, and history already answered it. As for Monast, he died in December 1996 of a heart attack at 51. Officially, natural causes. His followers point out that he had reportedly said he was in danger and that he wasn't the type to just drop dead. There's no proof of anything sinister. But for a man who claimed to have exposed the greatest hoax ever planned, the timing was all his believers ever needed. So, is Project Bluebeam real? As an actual, filed, funded government program? No. There is no record of it in any database. NASA has flatly denied staging holographic messiahs or beaming voices into anyone's head. The theory is unproven. It borrows heavily from older end times and New World Order panics, and its author left behind claims, not evidence. But notice what Bluebeam actually is. It's not really a prediction about NASA. It's a story about a vulnerability, one that's completely real. That human perception can be staged. That a frightened enough population will accept almost anything that promises to make the fear stop. That's not a conspiracy. That's just true. Monast may have gotten every specific detail wrong. What he got right is the part that should bother you. If someone ever did want to fake a god in the sky, the only thing they'd really need is a good enough show and a scared enough world. So let's go back to where we started. You don't need a real invasion. You don't need a real messiah. You need a convincing one, and an audience that's already looking up, already afraid, already primed to believe. We've spent this whole video assuming we'd be able to tell the difference. Project Bluebeam's real question is quieter and worse. What if we couldn't? The next time the sky does something it isn't supposed to, a light that shouldn't be there, a shape that holds too still, remember the one thing this theory gets right. The hardest illusion to break is the one everyone around you is seeing at the same time. This was the hidden signal. Subscribe, we watch the sky so you know what you're looking at. And tell me in the comments, if it happened tomorrow and the whole world saw it, would you believe it?